Hi Eric, it's Rosa, and you're not going to get to see me because I'm still in my pajamas. However, to answer your question, I'm going to show you my favorite books when I was growing up. Now, the ones that you mentioned, Alice in Wonderland, Stuart Little, all those books, I actually have them, but I didn't have them as a child, and I wasn't familiar with any of those stories. These are my favorite stories when I was a kid. These are new copies I had to get because the ones I had as a child fell apart. I read them so much. But I loved this alphabet story. Yeah, that's my boyo who wants to go for a walk while I'm trying to talk to you.
That's Snoopy.
That's right, that's Snoopy. This was the other one I had that fell apart because I read it so much. Matter of fact, I still have a picture of my dad and I reading, and this was the book I was reading in that picture, and I was probably about a year and a half.
Mommy, it's Snoopy.
And so those were my two favorites. This was one that I got when I was a little older. This is the actual copy that was mine. And it's a great story about a little boy and a stray dog. And it's called Go Away Dog, because he keeps trying to get the dog to go away. And he keeps throwing the stick to get the dog to go away, and the dog keeps bringing the stick back. And eventually, he takes the dog home. It was awesome. I love it. My kids love it. The other one, again, this is very old, from my childhood. I won't tell you how old I am. But it was just all about happiness. And go figure, it always made me happy. The one that had the most impact, and because you mentioned, the greats like Stuart Little, as you can see, this one is obviously a favorite of my daughter's. You mentioned Stuart Little and the other classics. I didn't have those. This is what I had. Stories of fairies, elves, and little people. And it's just a bunch of short stories with illustrations. And it was my introduction into the fairy world and into fantasy. I guess you could say it was my first fantasy book. And some of the stories are a little bit harsh or a little bit hard to read. But I loved it. Matter of fact, I remember there were several times when I was ill. This was my go-to book when I was homesick from school. So, Eric, hope that answers your questions. If you have any other questions, let me know. Now I have to go save my books because they're going for a walk. See you later.